3 viewers, which I feel is probably just me actually clicking on the video on my YouTube channel, but what does it matter? I don't care. This was something I wanted to do because, like I said in the other video, I have kind of Stockholm syndrome for this game, which is crazy. Alright, so what I wanted to do today is I'm going to show you guys kind of the reveal trailer here for Bioshock Infinite, right? Because we're going to the beach or the boardwalk level where that was a big chunk of the game. And I wanted to kind of show you guys this reveal trailer to kind of pick what's still in the game, what changed, and what was actually playable and real, if you will. Because a lot of these demos are juiced up with stuff that technically isn't how the game will be played in the end, because it's, for marketing, which is fine. But yeah, here we go. Let's take a look at this. So this store actually kind of made it into a later version of the game. Let's just full screen here. It's not really in the game anymore. They redid a lot of it. They repositioned it in the level when you're fighting against the Vox near the end of the game before you get to Comstock House. So yeah, I don't know. So they make it look like it's a big kind of cool looking area. Comstock, as you can see, this is the old version of Comstock, Hero of the Battle of Wounded Knee. So in the game, when you go to the Hall of Heroes, Comstock eventually, you and Booker worked alongside each other, as revealed in the original story. Comstock and you were not the same man. You guys were friends who fought side by side at the Battle of Wounded Knee. Yet again, I'll reference that when we get to that place. Bucky and Bronco. Here's the old look. This was actually in the game for a while, as you can see. Same with the old health bar here. They swapped that out yet again near the end of the game for the new stuff, which you have over here, the shield and then the health. And then they updated the look of this as well, clearly. The old memorabilia of the Founding Fathers, which was pretty much for the most part scrapped. As I mentioned in previous episodes, they scrapped it in favor of Comstock being the founder. They kind of pushed the forefathers, if you will, of this nation aside. Same thing, old look. Let's kind of skip ahead here. That's still there, old look as well. So you see all the art that's kind of popping up, if you will. That it didn't look good, to say the least. Like currently in this demo, those pop-ups aren't real. They're only popping them up to make it fit the demo. When we were working on it, it was all very much placeholder and looked like crap. So none of it's really real in this demo. This scene, same thing. This is still in the game, but that's in that level where you fight, or everyone's kind of battling each other. More of a simplified. This is still in the game. That little scene of him choking her. Yet again, barely really referenced. They don't care. A lot of it's changed. Let's kind of skip ahead. None of this is in the game. None of this level. Very clearly, if you beat in the game, I mean, the game is very old. So if you're playing, if you're watching this, you played it, you know that none of this is there. The horse they kept more or less just because it was a cool little scene, but showing that Elizabeth can open portals to other worlds. That's cool, Elizabeth. Let's keep going. Kind of rolling through this quickly. This was something they wanted to get very much, was this, like, the world is a living, breathing world. Like, you're just in it. That wasn't really accomplished. They kind of failed in that instance. Like, see all this kind of just happening. I mean, it's very scripted for the demo, but in the video itself, it failed kind of miserably. The old leader of the Vox, well, not the old leader, but that guy. See, this is the thing. Vox aren't attacking you here. And that is because you were neutral. Whereas in the game, everyone just attacks you now because why not? There's really no sides anymore. Let's see what else. Daisy, you meet her later too. She was always a part of the story, not as big in the story. They kept a lot of this kind of like propaganda and Vox destroying of the city in the town level when you're kind of exploring the town and you're trying to get the stuff to go into the bank. Oh, that's cool. Keep moving. Let's keep moving. Oh, There you can see the instance of a tear. I think I just skipped it. Yep, there's the original tears. I'll talk about those back when we're playing the game, how those changed quite a bit. Daisy. It sucks because you see this, and this looks awesome, right? Like this looks freaking awesome. Everything about it, but this was incorporated into the Bible scene in the beginning of the game, the very first level. You know, the one where you choose to either throw the ball at the barker or the couple, or not do anything. That was kind of this is what this scene became essentially. There's this. I mean, they kind of scrapped this one. And then combat. The skylines was reduced quite a bit. Let's see here. That machine's no longer in the game. That's gone. Let's see. That placeholder. That placeholder health bar. Hold on. So let's see what else is different. A lot of it actually surprisingly stayed. It's more just been updated at this point. Oh, this old level. This was a level in the game for a while. Where is it? This part here. This was a level. This is that in theory this is going to eventually become Comstock House. That was what that would become, but that didn't happen. This scene is still in the game. This scene was supposed to show Elizabeth and Songbird and the Stockholm syndrome they have, how he cares for her, regardless of what happens. And then, that all blah, blah, blah. All right, but let me see if I can find the reveal real quick before we get going. Reveal trailer. This is not what I wanted. Let's go to... gameplay reveal. Let me see if I can find this here for you guys. Ah, here we go. This is the one I was looking for. Oh. So we don't have ads because I don't want to get really dinged for ads. So we're just gonna kind of scroll through here. Yes. We get a Destiny. I don't know YouTube's rules, but I don't have really any say in the pay or anything. But so yeah. Let's play that. Alright, cool. Alrighty, so the reveal trailer, if you will. So, shout out to IGN for the video, since their logo's there yet again. I don't know the kind of standards on this type of stuff. Alright, this is very rough. This game is not indicative at all of what would become the Bioshock game. Oh, looks like an ad's still playing, so let's see here. Skip ahead. See, here's more of the propaganda. Original grittiness of this place. Like, look at the old horse you can see there. Like, look, oh god, this version of the game looks freaking awesome. So the thing about this game, this isn't even a game. This is nothing. What they're showing you here, they didn't have a game together. They didn't have anything together for this part. I mean, when we got the game actually in a playable state, all this was gone at that point. This is very clearly just a tech demo. if there's actually somebody walking around, I'd be surprised. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it if from my knowledge, that this was just simply she remained in the game in some form, very bad form, but she remained. Um, but yeah, this really is not even playable. Um, Statue of Columbia, which or whatever that you save Elizabeth from, that's what it became. Because the difference with this was this was showing you a Columbia that was um, falling apart, and it wasn't sustaining itself like they wanted you to, which was much cooler concept, I feel. The Barker. So in the original build, instead of Fitz, whatever his name is, Fritz, the guy who's off the stage during the little convention where yet again you throw the ball he was there. He was originally the Barker, the guy that you would throw the ball at, but they switched it to Fink. Fink is the name. Gosh, can't believe I forgot that. Yeah, he was the original guy that was there, and they turned it into Fink. So he took his gun, so he's angry. This this is like this makes no sense. This has absolutely no. There's nowhere like that in the game. None of that's there. I mean, I have no idea what the purpose of that was. Maybe that was like a terror guy. Who knows? At this point in the game, there was no story besides save Elizabeth from this crazy city. Um, the skylines were initially going to connect everything. That was in the documents. It never happened clearly, but in the documents initially, it was supposed to be one giant kind of open, not giant open world city, but very open. Murder of Crows, that figure didn't change. Let's see. That stayed, how that all works. They just reduced the detail, so there's not much blood. None of that's here. There was a time when Booker did have sleeves, like he was wearing a suit like this. They did have that in the game for a while. They eventually scaled that back and rolled up the sleeves, if you will. Man, God, every time I see this, it makes me think how much better the game would have been. Let's see. Wow. Yeah, that's nowhere near the game. Fake. See, this was what was supposed to be super cool about the game. Was this whole like you could enter an area and no one would be attacking you because you've done nothing wrong. You're not technically a villain. You're on neutral grounds, and you can see the terror effect they kind of had there. Oh, now a new guy's in charge, type of thing, right? That didn't make it in the game at all. I mean, well, that power, but not the ability to do that. And then you piss everybody off. Do the crows, murder of crows, still in the game. Um, yeah, clearly none of these levels are at all in the game in the slightest. The new power. Let's Elizabeth initially could do this. For a while, she could create these types of things. Not very long. They got rid of that pretty quickly. This is very indicative of Bioshock 1, how you could shoot the water and everyone in the water would get electrocuted. This was the same thing, where she would create a storm and you could shoot the storm and it would create this. Um, this was in the game very little. This was pulled and scrapped pretty quickly, more or less because it just didn't work. Um, it caused a lot of crashes, and when it did go, it wasn't functioning correctly. They just couldn't get it working right, pretty much. Let's see here. Let's skip ahead. Original model for Elizabeth. As you can tell, she was changed. That would become the power return to sender, where you can grab all the bullets. See? Not really as cool as that. The Handyman. The original look of the Handyman back when he was actually pretty cool. Supposed to be like a Big Daddy. They kind of scrapped it. I think you can see remnants of him in Fink's factory. Because the funny thing is, this was Fink. Spoilers. This was the Fink model, because Fink was originally supposed to turn himself into a handyman and everything, and this is what his model looked like. But they scrapped it all. All gone. It's the Fink model, Elizabeth. That scrapped. The whole, like, the power takes a toll on her. They kind of got rid of that. That really has no meaning anymore. Because that was supposed to be what dictated your good or bad ending, was how much you used her power. If you used her power, you would get the bad ending, because you slowly deteriorated her. By the end of the game, she was supposed to be old and withered and not very good, whereas if you were to not use her power, you'd get the good ending, where she'd be pretty and still very young and youthful. But they scrapped it because they realized in focus testing, no one wanted to use her powers. That's the point of the game, is to use her powers, but no one wanted to use them. So they scrapped it, and they just said, you know what, screw it, we're getting rid of it, everyone can just use the powers. And then the Songbird, as you saw. Alright, so now with that, let's jump into the next game, into the next level. What do you say for my non-existent viewer count? Alright, and we're back. So, let's jump right into this. So, when I tell you that this was like a big part of the game, the boardwalk, this was the very first level they completed that was actually playable. And it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. This hasn't really changed much as far as design. Like, once they had the design down, they had the design down. Something they stressed quite a bit was they really wanted to focus on the interaction with these people. So, you walk up to everybody and they all talk. That was the big thing. They all talked, and they wanted you to, like, very much feel like you were a part of this.
Hey, do you see a young girl?
Is this some kind of sales pitch? Because I'm not interested.
You see a young girl, blue skirt? No?
No. But I'm without an escort if you're looking to pass the time.
Yeah, they really wanted it, because they wanted you to feel that the city was alive, and all the events just happen. You see how you kind of just walk up and you just talk to them. That was what they were trying to accomplish, the living, breathing world. It didn't really pan out very well, because that's just, the game and the limitations of the hardware, I want to say. I mean, and on top of it, they really kind of built this game in a year and a half from what it was. But, yeah, so nothing really changed here.
Hey, I'm looking for a young girl.
That's cool. We're not talking to anybody.
Airship. That could be our ticket out of here.
Yes, nothing changed. Airship, ticket out of here. It's all scripted. Oh, Elizabeth, her dancing. She never danced initially. She actually woke up next to you, and you guys pretty much would walk along. You'd be like, oh, hey, we're all so happy, cheery, right? Blah, blah, blah. And talking about stuff. That was never there. She kind of just stood next to you, and you walked to the boardwalk. Her dancing was added later to give reason, yet again, for searching for things, and to further reinforce the whole, she has absolutely no idea what is going on in this world. Yeah, that's the big thing, is it was really to reinforce what's going on in the world. But hold on, guys, let me see. Where's my stream? Is the stream looking very... Well, that's unfortunate. Alright, so yeah. Yeah, like I said, not much changed. This was the coolest level. Beach pretty much stayed the same.
This is the life.
I miss real people.
There's actually a lot of a lot of talk. If you go through a lot of all the dialogue here, it's a lot of racist dialogue. Yet again, reinforcing this community. Like they wanted you really to see what Colombia was like and how Colombia was really not a good place. Like it was, completely filled with white people that are very heavily racist. And yeah, like it's just how it was. It's unfortunate. That's the story.
Get him a nice set of trunks.
I'm sorry, guys. This is very difficult. I'm still learning on how to stream. But yeah, it was to give you insight into the world, and that was all. Further, make you hate these people.
Strong. Move it.
Come on, mister. We're working here.
Pretend you're Hercules.
Photos. They're more or less there to block you from going into the next area. That's all. There's really no purpose for them. Let's go to Elizabeth.
Tell my wife is scared. I don't.
Oh, come on.
He has a plan.
Visible collision everywhere.
Hey, miss. Hey, Miss Elizabeth.
There was a top initially. You were in a giant gazebo type of thing. They removed the top.
Let's go.
Why? I don't know. Probably just to let everyone have some sunshine since they're on the beach and everything.
How about Paris?
Paris? I don't understand. How could we get there?
Her ridiculous, goofy Pixar animation. We always made fun of that while we were working on the game because they wanted something so super bubbly and all over the place.
It's hard to believe, but it's true, isn't it?
If you take your time,
I've never smelled anything like
if you take your time and go around through everything here,
Don't smell much.
she will interact with a lot of the stuff. She'll interact with the ball. She'll interact with the people. She'll talk. Oh, and shocker! Look, now the photography people are just gone. Yeah, she'll interact with a lot of stuff, but we're not going to let her interact because we're going to keep moving. These gates were to handle streaming issues. So what would happen is if you would go too far in the level and you'd run all the way back, the game would not be able to reload all these assets. They would be all unloaded, so you'd either fall out of the world or there would be nothing here, and it would crash the game essentially. So they put these in place to keep you from pretty much going back. That's all.
Mr. DeWitt, Comstock. I've read about him. They say he can see the future.
Give a man a little power.
Comstock, as you can see,
He falls in all
the
kinds of
new
love.
Comstock, which is pretty much Booker, just old. They implemented that fairly quickly. They scrapped the old Comstock pretty quickly. This story changed frequently. Ken Levine, from our knowledge, was writing the story as the game was being developed. So it wasn't like some games where, well, I guess a lot of games are actually like that, where they just go through a ton of revisions during development and everything changes. Well, this game was no different. This game very much did not have a story when it was announced. It was just save a girl from the city, and that was all. They added the story as they went to all this stuff.
Fall into the water, did you know?
Coins and the cushion achievement.
I'll keep an eye out for something that might ease your pain.
Clearly the guy's crazy, and he has binoculars. Anarchist loose. It's clipping a little. You saw that in the trailer I showed you. That was on some of the papers around. The Lutis twins. What the heck?
Mr. DeWitt, here.
Bird?
Or the cage.
Or perhaps the bird.
Word of the
Nothing
cage.
beats the
Absolutely no
cage.
choice. Absolutely no meaning to any of these choices. At one point, this did impact your story because this was supposed to be a good and bad ending. This was one of the choices that would impact that ending. Got rid of it because it means nothing. There's no impact to the ending. Everyone gets the same ending, regardless. So But yeah, at one point this was
Because
supposed
they're
to impact it.
amazing.
Clearly, if
Which
you
one do you
choose
like
the
more,
bird,
this
it's for
one
good. Clearly,
or
if you choose the
this?
cage, it's for bad.
The
Because
bird
you want
is
to keep Elizabeth locked
beautiful,
up.
and the cage.
So with the bird, because
The
that's
one
kind
on
of
the
the
right.
Are you sure?
choice, the
I'm
best,
sure.
better choice.
I love it.
Surprising. I expected the cage.
If you're going to be a sore loser, then I shan't do this again.
That's just sophistry.
The reveal of this,
Look.
Are you
that
alright?
was never here. That was added way later in the
We should
game.
get out of here.
Initially after you walked by them, nothing happened. They all kind of just went about their business and you just kept going. They added that to give you, for a reason for people to hate you, to make you a villain. Yeah, you never saw this. You just pretty much kept walking. This was a motive to make the city hate you and to attack you, because as you saw in the reveal trailers, no one really hated you or attacked you without reason behind it. So meaning like if you attacked them or you kind of pissed them off in some way. This now gave the city to hate you more reason to hate you. That also gave way to this police checkpoint. There never was a police checkpoint. You could just go into the arcade freely. They didn't care. That had no meaning whatsoever. They added this checkpoint to make you go that way, yet again to introduce you to the kind of black people in the back, showing slavery still present. But yeah, that was the thing. I mean, that was why they added it. The Dimwit and Duke, those two were added for yet again more propaganda. They downplayed them a lot from the final, from the initial and the final release. They were played up a lot more. Oh god, lockpicking. At one point,
Damn thing's locked.
there was a lockpicking mechanic. You would have to scour for.
What are you doing?
You're a roguish type.
Actually, let me say at one point. I think lockpicking is still in the game. I'm sorry, guys. I haven't played this
Could
game
you
in a while.
learn to pick
Yeah,
locks?
lockpicking is still there.
Trapped in a
Roguish type.
tower with nothing but books and spare time.
Do not speak to the
You would
patrons.
be
Always address them as
surprised
sir and
what I know
madam.
how to do.
I must take any task with more than this. Oh, hello, sir. Don't you pay me no never mind?
Nothing really about this. Just to pretty much show you the whole racism is still present here, and so are slaves.
Over here. I found these silver beagles. There's a vending device in there. There might be something to bring you back.
That was something they wanted to play up quite a bit, was the interaction between you and Elizabeth. They really wanted you to like kind of have this relationship to show that she was her own character, very smart AI. I don't know why I'm searching for all this crap. Oh look, now she's in front of me randomly. That's nice. They teleport her a lot everywhere. They just try to mask it. Here is the gear. Oh yes, the gear. As I talked about previously in a previous video. Oh wait. Nope. You could go to that like Jewish-looking guy machine, the green one, that had no functionality, and that was where you could swap out your gear by gear, have a full loadout. That's gone, so now all you have is simply the gear to like put it on like this.
Hey, mister. We'd like to help you.
Do I know you?
Back at the lottery, you...
Doesn't matter what you do.
Without
If
you,
you
we
threw
wouldn't
the
have
ball
gotten
at Fink, if you
Daisy
threw the ball
always
at the
said
couple,
somebody
there would
like
always
you
be
would
someone
come
here.
along.
So if you threw the ball at Fink, you'd have Fink's servants that are like, please take this, it's from Fink, blah blah blah. He's super grateful for what you did. Whereas if you don't throw the ball, then you get this. So more showing you how bad the divide is. You can see here that the colored people have
Nice for
the
you,
bad
sir.
bathrooms,
You best be on your way. There's gonna be trouble for us both.
and like then the white people will have the good bathrooms, which we'll see on the other side. The arcade. This never really changed much. This is all pretty much here still. Dimwit and Duke.
Come and take a photograph with the father of our country. He chopped down the cherry tree. He crossed the Delaware on bended knee.
Motorized Patriot. None of that's really changed. That's all kind of the same. This place kind of stayed the same. They didn't really do anything in here. Just the arcade, if you will. Get the kinetoscopes. I don't need to watch any of these. I don't think you guys care to watch any. I mean, there's really no purpose to any of it.
Sorry, sir.
So yes, and then as you can see, White. This is White's bathroom side, very clearly, all very nice. No issues over here.
Sounds like an unnecessary complication.
No,
Are
super
you
pretty,
trying
super
to
well
get us both
maintained.
arrested?
Elizabeth just being
Hope you didn't intend
brat.
for me to follow you in there.
The voxophone. Yeah, this stays relatively the same. This place didn't change too much from my memory of how this level. This is the inside of the arcade looked at least. Hall of Heroes. That's where we're heading now.
Annabelle?
Excuse me?
Annabelle?
It's me, Esther.
Oh, no, I'm not Annabelle.
Are you sure?
My name is Elizabeth. Do I know you?
Clearly a ploy to get
Isn't
people
that
to
a
attack
lovely
you.
name?
I mean, if the gray jumpsuit doesn't give it
Odd.
away, then I don't know what does.
Last customer.
Here you
Bar's
can
closing.
see the turnstiles
Bar's
again,
closing, everyone.
yet again. So now that it's going to deload that area, so we can't go back.
These shoes sure could benefit from a shine. Guess I haven't paid much.
So you want to watch out? I just swapped that.
Clearly something is amiss.
You got sauerkraut?
Surprise, surprise.
Sauerkraut?
What is it? We'll find out
I
in
guess
a
so.
second.
I'll take one, please. How much?
1 silver eagle.
All right.
If you're in such a hurry, go on ahead.